Bring it in, everybody. Indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. So, Secretary, do we have a quorum? We do? Okay, great, thank you. And can we get the a motion for the approval of the minutes from last month's meeting? Michelle, second? And Gil? Thank you. All in favor in the room, raise your hand. And on Zoom? Okay, thank you. Let's go with new members. So we're going to run through this really fast. If you're here and you're a new member, I'd like you to come up on this side over here so that when I call your name, you won't have that far to go. Or we're going to vote you in today.
New members, already new members, or new member applicants.
Applicants, sorry. So basically what I'd like to do is do a really short introduction of yourself. Less than 3 minutes, please. And like to start off with Dave Grant, K7DRG. Are you here or on Zoom? Okay. Nothing heard. Russell Whitaker, W1TKR. Are you here? You're here. All right. Come on over to the mic. Oh, you're not? Oh. Are you here on Zoom? Okay. David Starkle, KK7RFR. Are you here or on Zoom? Okay. 0 for 3. Bobby Fielder, KE4 Hotel. Are you here or on Zoom? Okay, I know David is here. I'm not gonna try and Jack. W3TOJ, come on up and give us your best 3 minutes.
You better. I'll do 60 seconds. I'm David, W3TOJ. Just got my general ticket, been a ham for about 12 years now. Software engineer with Microsoft, big into computers, digital modes. That's why when I was talking to Dave and he said he needed a digital chair, I was like, ooh, me, I'll do it. I love it. Please vote me in so I can be your digital chair for field day. I'm planning on being there for Thursday and leaving on Monday, so I'll help set up and break down and all that good stuff. But love ham radio, love the integration of computers and technology with ham radio. And so that's kind of what draws me into it. Anything I can do and where I can hook it up to a computer and do it, that's where my passion lies. So anytime, any help that's needed as far as computerization or, you know, they were talking about the campsites and trying to get set up for a campsite and watching the cancellation list. I can set up a script that can refresh that page every 30 seconds for you and then send you an email notification when there's a spot open, that kind of a thing. So you know, if that, we might be able to talk about that. So but that's me. Oh, and also there's a one piece of information on my application that is wrong. I am now an ARRL member, so that is now a yes instead of a no. So other than that, that's me. Yeah, and exactly.
It's active on 220.
Any questions for Dave? House calls, yeah, really.
There's AI everywhere, so I mean, sky's the limit with AI.
Any oh, go ahead, sorry. Any ham related questions? Anybody on Zoom?
Is he gonna get a 7 call sign?
I was debating that, whether or not I was gonna get a 7 call sign, and I don't think so. I think I'm gonna stick with the 3.
Okay, thank you. All right. Last call for questions. Okay. David Hutchinson, W0JKT. Come on up and introduce yourself.
I'm more boring than him, but my legal name is Dave. I changed it in my 20s, something about my mother yelling David all the time. Went before a judge. Are you trying to deceive anybody? No, I'm legally Dave. I have a 0 call sign, W0JKT, originally from Minneapolis area. General license in 1964. I was a CB before that, that way. I'm active HF only sideband. I had to pass 13 words a minute for the general, but never used it on the air, but admire those that do. I have no interest in digital because I like to talk a lot. I'm active on nets. I run some remotes, including one here on Vashon Island, which is why my interest in this area. I've been in and out of SeaTac a lot, but usually I'm going to Vancouver or Victoria. This is the first time I've been actually physically in the Seattle area. Anything else? No, I'm sorry, Phoenix, Arizona, for about the last 20 years, but it gets hot there in the summer, so I tend to travel.
Any more questions for Dave? Okay. Next candidate is Tom Sales, KE4HET. All right, come on up.
I'm not that tall. So, okay. Did the Zoom people see that? Okay. Anyway, I'm Tom. I got my amateur radio license in college right after an introduction to electrical engineering for non-electrical engineering majors, commonly referred to as EE for non-believers. Walked out of that class, took the next technician exam from the campus ham radio club, passed my exam, was active in the club there at Virginia Tech for a year or two, and then put the hobby aside for several years. After moving out here in 2000, I picked it back up, and in the last few years have been active mostly on 2 meters. I've done a little bit of SOTA work and are still interested in being a SOTA goat. Also interested in the digital modes, though I haven't done much, and that drove me to say, hey, I should get on HF and do some FT8. So I think it was 2 years ago at the swap meet, I took my general exam and passed my general. And so I'm interested in helping out with the club in whatever ways make sense. So I'm Tom.
Any questions for Tom in the room or online? Thanks, Tom. Troy Wells, W3 LLS. Are you here or on Zoom? Okay, next. Ryan McComber, K7AEK. Are you here?
I am on Zoom.
On Zoom. Okay, introduce yourself. You got 3 minutes.
I think I can. I think I can do under that. My name is Ryan McComber. I'm here because of those darn Baofangs everyone hates. I discovered that you actually have to have a license to use them, so I got hooked on ham radio and learning about building antennas, and it just all went downhill from there. I've got quite an interest in ham radio as the hobby and building antennas and the theory. And somehow I got conned into hosting the Mike and Key TechNet on Wednesday nights every once in a while. So that is why I am here. Any questions?
Okay, thanks, Ryan. All right, next, I'm gonna butcher Joe's last name. Joe DeCure, KF7 BMD. All right, come on up and
Joe DeCure, Kilo Foxtrot 7 Bravo Mike Delta. I got interested in amateur radio 15 years ago because I became a CERT, community emergency response person, and they need to communicate, duh. So I started learning ham radio, and I met Dan Stevens through an amateur radio class. And I have since then become one of his support people. I help him teach and help him as a volunteer examiner in his classes, which is why I'm here. For a living, I'm a professor of electrical engineering at the University of Washington. And in fact, I've been an IEEE fellow, if you know what those are. And so you can find me on Wikipedia or LinkedIn. Yeah, I teach electrical engineering now. It's like I have 107 students. It's kind of nuts. Yeah. How many of you ever played video games? Do you know what Atari was? Both. Okay. I became an IEEE fellow for my work at Atari and Amiga. The two people designed the Atari 2600. I'm the one who's still alive. I have a whole bunch of expired patents on all three machines. Mercifully, they're all expired. The only one I've been dragged into court several times because we had the first GPU, graphics processing unit, in the Amiga. And mercifully, those are expired so that we're no longer employing lawyers. The only patent I have that hasn't expired yet is on Wi-Fi Direct, if you know what that is. I have actually been an officer of the Issaquah Amateur Radio Club, and I've given a lot of technical talks on amateur radio, on PCB design, on microcontrollers, this and that. I was a distinguished lecturer for the IEEE Consumer Electronics Society for 4 years, traveled all over the world. I'm done with that. I'm tired of sitting on airplanes. But anyway, I'm happy to support this club. I'm happy to continue supporting Dan.
any questions? Go dogs.
I've now been teaching for 31 consecutive quarters, so I can consider myself a dog. But I spent 26 quarters in Berkeley. I used to be a bear.
Okay.
Two of my children are.
All right, thanks, Joe. Next is William Swearingen, KV2B. All right.
Hi, everybody. My name is William Swearingen. I'm originally from Houston, lived in Chicago for 10 years and moved out here in 2013 with my wife. I've got an 8-year-old son. Maybe it was like a year ago, I became a ham and didn't really do much with it for a while. I got into ham. GMRS was my gateway drug. you know, and then it was downhill from there. And I talk on the torture chamber. Was it torture? Torture chamber, noon net with Dean, N7XS, Wayne, Greg. There's a Michelle. There's a bunch of us on there. It's really, I would say, Dean's fault that I wanted to join the club. Because he was talking up about field day, and now I'm field day crazy. So I really want to go to the radio camp for a week and help set up and tear down and be a part of the whole thing. I'm super excited. So please vote yes. Any questions for William? Thank you.
Thanks, William. Next is Karma Yokum, KG7YZ.
Hi, I'm Karma. In 2019, I'd always been kind of, yes,
Could you get the microphone?
up there? Okay. Okay, I'm Karma. In 2019, I'd always been kind of interested in ham radio. But in 2019, I was taking my granddaughter for a walk in the park, and there were these antennas sitting in the park, and it said field day, public welcome, just like that sign we just saw. I walked up, and before I know it, my family was all gone walking around the park, and I was there with the radio people and kind of never left. So I got yanked out of Texas to Yakima, Washington in 2019, at the end of 2019, and decided, okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get my license. So I studied up and everything, got my license in 2020, technician general and extra in one test, and was all excited, ready to hit the ground running, and COVID shut everything down. So through COVID and stuff, I tried to stay active and everything. I became a member of the board of directors, doing all that kind of stuff, trying to be active, you know, and they kept saying, don't go outside and stuff. Then I got yanked back to Texas. So here I am, I'm in Texas, trying to set up some antennas, getting involved with some clubs, things like that. Had to move around a bit. Finally, I had the opportunity to move back here to Washington. I don't have to get yanked anywhere else now. I am so glad to be here. I'm also a volunteer examiner. I've got a Yaesu MF 1000 MP rig. Just got a brand new MFJ 1788 magnetic loop antenna given to me. It's wonderful, except I only turned it on once and started to work with it, put it away, and I have this thing called a gnawing kitten, and she chewed through the cord. So today I get to fix the power cord. So most of my ham radio stuff, I haven't been able to really get on the air a lot. I haven't been able to be around a lot of people. So I want a group that is active, that I can look into things. I'm a bit of a Luddite. I like the old tube radios and those really, really, you know, old kind of stuff. I've got an old Atwater Kent in a metal coffin that I'm redoing. So I've got a lot of energy, obviously. I want to get involved. I can be a VE. I even had my Washington State Food Workers license, so I could work the booze and stuff for stuff. I can renew that easily. So please vote for me. Otherwise, I'll bug you until you do. KG7YZ. Yeah, AG7YZ.
It's AG,
7 yellow zombies.
Alpha Golf. All right, thank you, Karma. And now I'm going to probably not get your name very good. Is this Venkatram Pramod? Ben. Okay, Ben. KK7TAS. There you go.
That's okay. I'm not tall. Hi, everyone. My name is Ben. I'm a retired engineer. I worked for 49 years, and I've been retired for 2 years from Amazon. And I'm here to learn and to help the club where I can. Thank you.
Any questions for Ben?
I hope so.
My colonel said, hope is not a strategy. All
I plan to.
right, there you go. Okay, I think this is time to vote. So can you all go out there while we talk about you? Let's see, David, Dave, Troy, Ryan, Joe, William. Okay, looks like we've got 8. If I'm counting right. 7? 8, right? Okay. So let's go with David Olenjak first, W3TOJ. Anybody want to comment? Any comments? Okay. And when he volunteered and I told them, I don't know, I've never done it before. There you go. Okay, all ready for a vote then? Any other comments? Okay, so all in favor, raise your hand. Those online. Okay, thank you very much. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Next candidate is Dave Hutchinson, W0JKT. Any comments? Yeah. No comments? Okay. All in favor of Dave Hutchinson, raise your hand. Any opposed? Okay. Next is Troy Wells. Any comments? Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Tom Sales. Okay, any comments for Tom Sales? No? Okay. All in favor of Tom? Raise your hand. Any opposed? So I had Troy Wells. Was he? Okay. Thank you. Ryan McComber, any comments? Yeah. Okay, all in favor? Raise your hand. And online? Any opposed? Next candidate, Joe, KF7BMD. Any comments? Go ahead, Robert.
Also a member of this. Hopeful, pleasant people will ever meet. Obviously, to help us with PE sessions and cuts it out.
So Robert gave his endorsement. So
In case there's any question, he's a rather dynamic guy.
Robert said he's been very helpful in the classes and triple E like that.
Fantastic. And I think he will bring the wealth of knowledge to the club. And one more thing is, he said he would apply for the club. And so I said, okay, I will pre-make the, I'll pre-make the,
It's not on. It's not on.
I told them I will pre-make the next.
You found it.
The next time, with the condition that the deal will come and do the club. Now, if you do not vote in, I have to take this. Please don't do that.
I don't need to say much more, guys, but he invited us to teach out there in Issaquah and it was in 2014. And the membership was about 10 people coming to the club. It had actually tripled in about a couple years in there. We had one class out there with 65 and all of them passed. So he's been a great teacher like that. He's been a great add to it. I don't need to say it much more. He probably will go to the Issaquah field day, but he's a great add to the club.
Thank you, Daniel. Any more comments? Yeah. Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. It looks good. Any opposed? Online? Okay, next is William, KV2B. Any comments for William? Okay. Sure, go ahead, Gil.
Yeah, he's planning on coming to the field day, the whole trip. And he's really interested in
Yep.
getting into what we do.
Okay. All in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed? Okay, next candidate, Karma, AG7YZ. Any comments? Another enthusiastic, yeah. Hardly talks. Yep. Yeah. Very good. Any more comments? Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. Any opposed?
Hey, Carl, this is Mark, W7EAZ. Is that a very new license, she said?
I don't it should be AG7YZ, not KG. 2020?
Thanks.
All right, next is Ven, KK7TAS.
Thank you for asking. He's one of the guys from the April class on here that Joe and Robert helped so much to get licensed in here. This is one of the 43 that took the class in April. We had like 16, 19 in Kenmore, then 27 passing there in Covington. This is the result of all the hard work that we do, guys. Excited, new guy, and we should invite him in and welcome him.
Thank you, Daniel. Any more comments? We got a thumbs up back there. Okay.
Thing to go to field day and get on.
Great. Thank you. Any more comments?
The Elmers should pounce on him. This is Mark.
Thank you, Mark. Okay, all in favor, raise your hand. And those online? Any opposed? Okay, looks like we got 8 out of 8 or 8 out of 14. So go ahead and bring them back in. Man, really good. Congratulations, all 8 of you have been voted in. Next officer that's going to report is going to tell you to pay up. So he's going to give a report right now, so don't bother him yet. Treasurer, go ahead. Oh, he's going to come up here.
Well, welcome all of you new members. With that, it adds our 8 plus our 303 current members makes us 311. That's great. But anyway, to maintain your membership, you need to pay your dues, including those new members. And we accept dues by cash, in person only, check in person here at the meeting or by mail. And we also, in the room, we also accept Square, but Square is also available online along with PayPal or Zelle. All this information is on our website under membership, and I encourage you to check it out along with the rest of the stuff on our website. So please come on by. Oh, a new factor that available, if you've attended one of Daniel's classes, if you apply within the first year, you can get a training credit. Please let me know of that. Also, the board is looking at a scholarship for those who have financial needs. So please check us out in those measures. Thanks. Have a good day.
All right, thank you, Scott. So we'll go on to standing committees. I think Daniel. I think yeah, Daniel's talking to somebody. Daniel? We really ought to give Daniel a round of applause. I was just talking to the other Daniel Stevens in the back, who's not Daniel, it's Tom. And he was telling me he's reiterating all the classes that Daniel's given over the years. And it's just, I'd really like to know how many students he's taught in his career. But we need to keep it short because we're already at almost 5 minutes till 11, 12. Thank you. So go ahead, Dan.
Thank you. We've licensed over 2,000 new amateurs and about 3,000 people in the classes, including emergency preparedness and that sort of stuff. So I don't have a number of classes in there, but we're doing about 15 to 17 classes a year before COVID, and about 250 to 330 new amateurs in those classes like that. That's a lot of work. It was about 35 Saturdays a year, which has really kept me pretty busy. I'm kind of backing off. We are looking for class. And what I want to ask for is a little time to ask for classes like that. We need a classroom about this size because our average class is about 27 to 30 on the thing. We get 95% pass rate. On our extras, we get 87 4.5% pass rate walking out the door. And within a month, that rate goes over 90%. So we teach all 3 levels. We got a great group of instructors and building our team back up. To start up, we've got, this is our 3rd class we had in April, 2 in April. We got 1 in August, but we're looking for a few more venues. One of the things we have done is we taught from like Federal Way through Blaine, and like that around. We move the classes in different areas, like in Issaquah. Because in Issaquah, you get people from North Bend and maybe Cle Elum coming over where they won't go into Seattle or Ballard. So we're looking for some more venues, and that's what I've asked you to talk about. So I'll keep, instead of 5 minutes, I'll keep it down to 3. Thank you, guys.
If you have some time to volunteer, instructor, helper, VEs, that's the backbone of new ham radio operators. So thanks, Daniel. Any other standing committee reports? Yes, sir, Robert.
Sam in 7RG. Sam N7RAG Audit
Okay.
Committee.
Give Robert some time, Sam, and unless it's about Robert, given public service. Okay, go ahead, Bob.
Okay. Just want to remind people we have, we're in the busy part of the public service season, number of events coming up. I won't list them all out, but they are in the centerfold of the booklet. Want to encourage new members and any visitors, if you don't have it already, pick up one of the booklets up here. I've got a stack of 10 and then a box of another 40 if anyone needs some bulk for another group. Apart from that, reminder that the Ride Around Mount Rainier in 1 day Ramrod has been moved to September 4th, Wednesday, September 4th. So that's a change from the schedule. I want to talk a minute about a couple things that aren't exactly public service, but I've been asked to promote them. We have 2 great conferences in the Pacific Northwest every year. The first one is CPAC. That's coming up the first weekend of June, just a couple weeks away. You can still get registered. It might be a little bit late to arrange accommodations, but you can, I've done this once. You can even make a 1-day trip down there. It's in Seaside, Oregon. Drive down, attend all the seminars, and then drive back that night on Saturday. That works out if you don't have accommodations. Helps if you have a companion to help you with the driving. The other is the Pacific Northwest DX Convention. That is coming up in August, the 2nd weekend. That rotates among 4 DX clubs in the Northwest. This year it's being hosted by our local DX club, the Western Washington DX Club. Thanks, Michael. It rotates between Spokane, Seattle, Vancouver, and Portland. So it's actually in Everett. It's the 2nd weekend of August. If you're one of my Bigfoot hams, you can't go because you'll be at Bigfoot with me. Unfortunately, I can't go because I'll be at Bigfoot. But if you're not involved in Bigfoot, this is a great conference and it's a great opportunity with it being local here this year. It's one every 4 years that you don't have to travel very far. There's a bunch of business card reminders up here. In fact, I think I'll just kind of pass them around and take one if you're interested. All right, thanks.
Thanks, Robert. Sam, what do you got?
Okay, the swap meet audit will happen in June, probably the week of the June 10th, and will be done by Zoom, and it'll be arranged by Scott, and we'll coordinate it by email for the exact time and date.
Thank you, Sam. I do have a note. Alex has been still looking for new places to meet since we are we have 54 or so people here. So appreciate his efforts. And of course, for the relay, I'm sure Mike would want to encourage articles to be submitted. It's always want more articles. And like Sam said, we got the audit coming in June. Any other event committee reports like swap meet? got the field day done already and picnic, anything? All right. So as far as old business is concerned, we have the corporate minutes booklet has been assembled. Secretary and just George and Manfred all brought that together. And we've instituted and voted on policy number 21, offering, like Scott was saying, that those students who take Daniel's class or a Mike and Key sponsored class, if they apply within, they get their license and get the first year membership free by the club. First 2 months, you said? Yeah, within the first year. So, and the board discussed for okay, sorry. Is there any other old business that we need to talk about? So under new business, we have a request for a club historian as a official position. Anybody wishing to fill that role, please contact the board through email. We have a lot of history in this club, and most of it, I think, is online through the newsletter. So that's one thing that the board brought up. The second item is we are going to be moving the library and the test equipment from Toku's shop to the storage facility in Covington. So there'll be a process of signing stuff out, like books and test equipment, just like the antenna analyzer and whatever else test equipment we have. So there's going to be a procedure to do that. So that'll be forthcoming. Yes, sir. Yeah, we're going to be in the process of developing that so that people will know what kind of test equipment they can sign out, what the procedure is, and as well as the books and the magazines. So that'll be in work, and we'll announce when that actually becomes active. If anybody needs any test equipment, feel free to contact Toku and he'll tell you if we have it or not. So, any other questions on that? I saw another hand. Daniel.
If you don't know how to use like an MFJ analyzer, we got Elmers around that can help you with it. So you check it out and get a hold of Elmer, and they can walk you through the process.
Thank you, Daniel. So like the next item was Scott was mentioning a hardship fund. George is going to be developing that policy, and what people that are having hardship, maybe you're unemployed, can't afford to pay membership dues. There'll be a fund that's instituted, and anybody's able to voluntarily contribute to that fund, so that people that don't have funds will still be able to join the club. So that's in the future here. Yes, go ahead, George. You're muted, George.
Yeah, the key for that fund is that it's going to be anonymous. So if someone needs help, they can request it anonymously. We're not going to publicize who it is. So there'll be a privacy maintained there.
Okay, thank you, George. We appreciate you developing that. Any other new business needs to be brought before the club? Okay. And I think we do have one item for the good of the order, Gil.
I need some help.
Oh, yeah. In my antiquity, I need some help. And it's with my antenna. I need to lower it, but it's up a hill like so. And it been into the woods. And my feet and my legs don't handle that. So I need somebody, I'm in Issaquah, and somebody that's maybe near enough could come with me on any day you can come. And we'll drop that antenna, we'll clean up the connection in the middle. It's a dipole with window line. And I'm not too sure, I wasn't so dumb that I didn't solder that connection. That's one of the things we're going to check, and I'll figure out how to clean it up and solder it. And with my battery operated soldering gun. So just contact me after the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Gil. Anything else for the good of the order? Yes, Mike. Robin.
Thrown in the towel. He's going to continue to support all the products and so forth. Yeah, just to reiterate, MFJ is going to be going away, I think either June or July 1st.
Yesterday.
Oh, yesterday. Okay. It's, yeah, stopping production. So they're going to be, supporting their equipment for quite some time to the future. I don't know what the end date is that, but, even though it's been known as mighty fine junk, it's really helped a lot of amateurs over the years with some pretty darn good equipment at very reasonable prices. So.
Thank you.
Brand new, no, he's picked me up here. The newest QST magazine has ads for MFJ still in it, so.
LJ.
Just wanted to add I wanted to add something about MFJ, and I heard that, even though they're stopping production, they're going to continue to sell the inventory that they have until they no longer have it. And that's all I wanted to add.
Great. Anything else for the good of the order? Mike?
Hello. Hello. I have about a dozen tomatoes surplus to my needs back here in a cheat sheet. So if you haven't bought any tomatoes, I've got a wide variety.
Thank you, Mike. Okay, last call. Good of the order. Anything else? Okay, do we have anybody want to make a motion to adjourn? Ivy? I think Greg seconded it, yeah. All in favor? Okay, well, thank you very much for attending, and congratulations to the new members. Pay the treasurer. 15 June is the next meeting.
That's right before field day. Hi, Ross. Good to see you.
Yeah,